I had this question come in from Instagram. Someone on a live asked me this question. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you go ahead and do that. I do lives every Friday. So the question was basically, how do you deal with a partner who is low vibe when you're committed to your ascension, when you're committed to, manifesting your dream life, when you're committed to growing, expanding, and becoming a greater version of yourself. And basically, this partner, is kind of unconscious or not growing, staying at the same level. And this can be really challenging because I've personally experienced this myself. And at the time, I was a little bit more immature, and I was trying to change this person in order to basically, heal the relationship. And I thought that was the way to do it. And so, since then, I've learned a lot about relationships and how they work and what to do when it comes to, a conscious person in the relationship and then an unconscious person in the relationship. So, the first thing I would like to say about the question that was asked is that the person who is conscious, the person who wrote the question, basically said their partner is low vibe, right? And so the partner is already judging them as low vibe, right? And so the first lesson here is being conscious of yourself, right? It's being conscious that you are judging this person as low vibe. Judging this person as low vibe is also low vibe, right? And so we need to get out of that. The ego is saying that this person is a bad person, or they're low vibe, or they're unconscious, or, they're not, into the law of attraction and not into spirituality, and this is a judgment, right? Now, it's not that I follow the Bible or I'm religious or anything like that, but thou shalt not judge, or whatever it is, one of the commandments, whatever they're called, right? So we want to, when it comes to being conscious, we want to be conscious of how we are seeing and perceiving others. We are consciousness. We are awareness, right? All of us are exactly the same, but our ego tells us that we are different. And so when you see someone that's different, or when you see someone that's low vibe, know that that is also a reflection of yourself. So it might, trigger you a little bit or make you feel a little bit, wow, I was judging this person as bad. This person, that your partner, right? They grew up a certain way. They grew up in a certain environment. They grew up around certain people. They learned certain things. They have certain conditionings. And just because you've become aware of something, just because you've become more conscious, just because you've had your awakening experience, doesn't mean you are better than them, or that you are more advanced than them or anything like that. Okay, I don't believe in advance. I don't believe in better. I just believe in different, right? And so that's the first thing we need to acknowledge, first of all, is taking away the judgment. Because as soon as we put labels on someone in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, as soon as we see someone a certain way, as soon as we start to change the image in our mind of this person, our perceptions of this person, the relationship's going to go downhill, all right? The image that we hold of someone is really important in a relationship. For example, in a relationship, there may be in the past, maybe you've been in a relationship and someone's cheated, and you decided to stay in the relationship, but you still got this image of this person. They're not exactly the same as it was before. They're not as pure. They're not as whatever it is, right? You have a condition. I mean, you have a judgment on this person based on their actions, right? And so our images that we hold in the mind around a particular person is going to affect and infect the relationship. It's going to cause a virus in the relationship, and it's always going to be circulating in the back of your mind. And so when it comes to a relationship, when one person's conscious and one person's unconscious, we don't want to judge them as unconscious. We don't want to judge them as low vibe. We don't want to judge them as any of these things, right? That's the first step. Right. The second thing I want to share with you about this particular question here is that the focus is on someone else and it's not focused on yourself. All right. In a relationship, you are literally a reflection of, the other person. That person is a mirror. All right. And so, the most powerful thing, I've worked with so many women and their relationships, marriage. I've just been counseling them, helping them shift themselves. And the main thing I help them do is focus back on themselves. Okay. Especially women, right? I help them focus back on themselves and just being in their feminine energy. Because when a woman focuses on a man, what a man's not doing, how they can be better, how they can be more decisive, low vibe, all of this stuff. When they're so focused on the man, what happens is they step into their masculine energy. You see, they step into the masculine energy. They're becoming assertive. They're bickering, right, or nitpicking, right? They're looking for ways to cause arguments. Not that you don't have, your emotions are valid. You feel that way, and it's okay to confront someone and talk to them about it. But the man's not going to be receptive when you're in a masculine state. The man, and I'm talking about a male and female relationship here, but this works with, people who are gay as well. It doesn't matter what sex preference you have, but in a woman-man relationship, right, a heterosexual relationship, we want to acknowledge and realize that a woman should be mostly, and I say should, but it's just my opinions, my conditioning, right? A woman should be mostly in her feminine, right? And a man should be mostly in his masculine, right? And when a woman is mostly in her masculine and she's trying to communicate something in her masculine, the man's not going to be receptive, all right? If the man's in his masculine, right? And so if you have a male, if you're in a relationship where your man's more alpha, he's not going to be receptive to you being alpha. He's going to be receptive to you being in your feminine, all right? And so the way you approach your communication is key. So the power comes when you focus on yourself, all right? The power comes when you focus on you and being the best you that you can be. Being in your feminine is the best you can be. You become more attractive to a masculine man when you are more in your feminine, all right? And when you are more in your feminine and you feel sexy about yourself, you feel good about yourself, you focus on yourself, you're treating yourself, you're not having your energy focused on him, your attention's not on him, your attention's on you, and you being that blossoming flower, right? That becomes attractive. You become more receptive. And so now when you speak, he can open up and listen and sit with it and understand, right? But he's not going to understand the masculine dynamic from you, right? He's not wanting that. He's not expecting that. And so when you're in a relationship like this, they will grow when you focus on yourself. Because what happens is you become the light, right? You should be focused on building your skyscraper. Don't know if that sounds right, but like you should be so focused on yourself that you become so bright, so tall, so happy within yourself, it just becomes naturally attractive. Like you don't need that person in order to be happy, right? You want this person in your life. You don't need this person in your life. You are so happy within yourself that you are shining so bright that you just become attractive and receptive. Where they want you, they desire you because you've become attractive, right? They desire you more. They want you more. They want more sex. They want to be more affectionate and all of these things because of who you are and who you've become. You've become that so-called like skyscraper. I don't know how else to say it, but you've become so tall, so bright that everyone can see that you've changed and you've become more of a high vibe person. Whereas what most women do in a relationship is they try and change the partner. He's not like this, he's not like that. Looking at him, judging him for where he's at, his current level of experience, his current level of awareness, and all these things. So for me personally, in a relationship, if a woman is totally in her feminine, when I say totally in her feminine, I mean 75% in her feminine and then 25% in her masculine, for me is very, very, very attractive. And it makes me want to do more, be more for her. Does that make sense? When she's in the masculine, I'm just like, well, what's my job here? Right? I don't have a job. Right? You're in your masculine, you're bickering all the time, you're arguing all the time, you're nitpicking all the time on these things. You're in your masculine, you're in this energy of unattractiveness, and I'm just like, it's, to me, it's just like, it feels to me like you're like a whining, sorry, and I'm using some strong words here, like you're a whining temper tantrum baby, right? So that doesn't make me want to change, right? It doesn't feel like you're being an adult about it. And so it just repels me. It doesn't come across as a way that I want to change or I want to grow or I want to become better for you. However, if you're in your divine feminine and you are focused on yourself and you're happy with yourself and all of this stuff, and then you say something and you communicate something from that energy, I'm more receptive and I want to see how I can become better for you, how I can be a better man, how I can basically overcome the challenges and the ideas and the things that you have and you want to share with me and communicate with me. I'm more open to it, you know, in that regard. So focusing on yourself is very, very important. Focusing on loving yourself, focusing on you, not focused on him, focus on being in your own energy, reading the books that you want to read even more than you are now, studying even more than you are now, and being as happy as you can be on your own, right? You got to act as if in a way that you're single. I know you're in a relationship, but it's almost, you got to act as if you're single. You're an independent energy, and your happiness is not subjective to how he's acting, how he's behaving, or anything like that. You are happy within you. Okay, and there's two things that can happen from this, right? He's going to change, and over time he will change and he will start being more receptive and all of this stuff, or the relationship's just not fit anymore. Those are the two things that can happen. All right. And when you're in that feminine energy, obviously you're going to be able to communicate things a lot better. He's going to be more receptive. It's about understanding who he is as well, which is, I guess, the third thing I want to share with you. If he's a more beta male, you're probably wanting from him more masculine traits, more alpha traits, like making decisions, taking charge. Not that he's taking control of you or taking control of the relationship, but taking charge, you know, in certain examples, making decisions, making you feel protected, all of these things. Maybe you love the sweet side of him. Maybe you love, you know, that he compliments you and treats you nice and all of these things, but that can go a little bit too far and that can become unattractive, right? And it can be too much and can be overwhelming. And so women desire both the alpha and the beta, right, at the same time. But right now, maybe your relationship is more beta, right? More beta. Maybe in your relationship, your man's more alpha, right? More alpha, and you want him to be more beta, which means make more compliments or whatever it is. Well, to an alpha male, for him, he doesn't want to be sweet, right? He thinks sweetness is weak, right? He thinks being nice and all of this stuff is weakness, right? He doesn't want to soften up and all of this stuff, okay? And so in that dynamics, it's about understanding your man. But again, all of it, all the time, every single time comes back to you and how you're presenting yourself in the relationship. Are you attractive in this relationship? That's the question you want to ask yourself. Are you attractive in this relationship? Are you being attractive? If you are not, then you need to work on being attractive. And that's not just looks. I'm talking about your energy, the energy that you give off, the way that you communicate. Is it in your feminine? I'm talking about obviously your looks as well, how you present yourself. Are you still doing your hair? Are you still looking attractive? All this stuff. Because for him, you know, if there's plenty of women, you know, out there, right? And they're going to be doing their hair. They're going to be doing all this stuff. And I know you know, you got the kids, you got all this stuff to do, whatever it is, but you're not doing it for him. Okay. You're not being attractive on your physical level for him. You're doing it for yourself. Okay. You need to feel good about yourself. You need to feel good within yourself. Once you feel that way, you do not need him in order to feel sexy. You do not need him in order to feel good. All right. And so in that presence, in that energy, you become magnetic, you become attractive. And then guess what happens? You start healing the relationship. The female dynamic, the woman, the woman is the carrier of the relationship. Okay. And you need to know this at the core, right? You need to know this to the core of who you are. The woman is the core of a successful relationship. Obviously the man is, you know, has some, you know, parts to it, but when we look at the woman, right, you have a womb, and what do you carry in the womb? A baby. You carry the baby for 9 months. You are the carrier of a relationship, right? You hold the key to a successful relationship, right? And so the woman is the first, and when you are being in your power, you change and alter the relationship dramatically. All right. So that's what you want to go ahead and do. Right. Focus on yourself. Be that high vibe without any judgment. Be sexy for you. Okay. Not for him, not for anyone else. Be loving to you. Be happy for you. Focus on yourself. Right. And again, if you got kids and stuff like that, obviously you want to take care of them, but you come first. The better you feel, the better you're able to treat your kids. The better you feel, the better you're able to treat your relationships. All right. And so focus on yourself first. Set time aside to focus on you being your best self. All right. If you are interested in coaching and you want help in your relationship and you want help with your marriage, stuff like that, you want to go ahead and take your marriage, your life, your relationship to the next level, or maybe you want to even attract a relationship into your life, then, you know, check out my coaching. There'll be a link in the description. Just send us a message on WhatsApp and you can find out how you can take your relationships to the next level. I know relationships can be challenging, and sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance. Sometimes you just need a little bit of support in taking your relationships to the next level. And, you know, it can be really costly when it comes to relationships. And so we want to do our best to heal them as much as possible. It can cost, you know, your kids' happiness. It can cost your own happiness. It can cost your time, your energy. And so it's important that we fix this area of our lives. So if you're interested in coaching and counseling, then send us a message on WhatsApp to find out how you can go ahead and enroll in our coaching program. All right. So thanks for watching all the way through. I really do appreciate that. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below on what you thought about this video. And check out this video right here. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.